Welcome to another episode of EMPATEAMWORk. Today we have another guest which is already being part in some concepts which will help us now to formulate our own one, and I welcome Alexandra to our show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I want to thank you in general as well to open up this opportunity in general to discuss what development work can look like and what it means to be part of such a project.
So yeah, how did you, or what is your project, and how is it going so far?
So my project is called Jambo Sanaa, which means hello art in Swahili, which is one of the national languages of Tanzania. And the project is an art educational project at one primary school in Tanzania, in the region of Kagera, which is bordering Lake Victoria, and specifically in the region of Karagwe. And so far we've done several art workshops at that school.
Najua kukikuta ntajuta kama nikikuta unanitania, mana moyo wangu nimekupa uweke. Mimi ni mfungwa tena mjinga, nimejileta gerezani tena, sikuwaza nitakuwa mateka. Najua ulinizungusha sana, sijaliwa ni mambo ya ujana.
Bella, what did you think about this year's art workshops? How did it go?
The art workshop was very nice. The girls was enjoying this time. It was very nice for them and for me too.
Ila majibu ya upendo ulishakosa, acha waseme nimekupendea nini. Moyo mashine, ila majibu ya upendo ulishakosa.
The art workshop was very good for the girls because they improved how to draw and paint some pictures and to talk about their dreams.
And I would say the project has two elements. One is the art workshops at that school, in Kayanga Primary School in Tanzania, and the other part is the cultural exchange part. So the art workshops we've done so far, they had different topics or themes, and a group of children painted artworks on that theme. For example, the first art workshop was on the theme of the role of the woman in Tanzania and in Germany, so they drew what they knew the role of the woman in Tanzania was and how they imagined the role of the woman in Germany. And then those paintings were sent to me and I exhibited them in Germany.
Okay.
And through those exhibitions I also raised money, but there were also educational projects for people here to learn about parts of Tanzanian culture. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So maybe just to like navigate ourselves a little bit through the different points, since I showed you in the pre-talk we had what our concept is going to include. Maybe if you're okay, then we might go through some of these points and you give us maybe like a brief, personal introduction to how you perceive them and how you implement it. So the background, when did it start? What was the initial start of the project? What would you consider was the start?
So it started in 2013, 1 year after I graduated from high school, and I organized an art exhibition with my own artworks and wanted to combine it with raising money for a social cause. And the only person I knew who led an NGO was the founder of Jambo Bukoba, and a German Tanzanian NGO based in Munich, and they are educating children through sports in terms of how to prevent HIV infections and so on. And the founder Clemens Mulukosi, he gave me the chance to connect to that school I'm doing the project with now, to do an art project with them on the same theme as I had for my own artwork. So that was the role of the woman, and that's how it started initially. Yes.
So if you go from that point on, what would you say is the the rationale behind it, like the thinking way that you actually continue to do it, or like what was your personal motivation to pursue it?
That's quite interesting because for me the initial thought was that I was super privileged in my childhood, and I myself went to art workshops regularly and know that they influenced me very, very much positively. So I was like, that doesn't exist in Tanzania, so I'm gonna go there and give them what they don't have. So, and now through my studies at Cambridge University, I got the chance to rethink what my motivations were and whether those are good motivations to do such a development project.
So you would say now the status quo is different from what you actually started off.
Yeah, because for me it was kind of like, I'm gonna do this, people are open to doing this, are happy to do it, and I'm just gonna have look at the business plan of how to implement that project. And now I went back a step and I'm thinking more now about what is my role in that project. I know now that this approach of looking at it in terms of what's lacking there is not a good approach. Because also, I said that all of this doesn't exist there, but actually I had never been there. I hadn't lived there, so how could I make up this opinion?
Just to go a little bit through the checklist, what were your potential donors when you first started it? Did you consider the crowdfunding, which you now already do? We're going to link it also for interested people.
So I've mainly used Better Place, the fundraising platform, and in the beginning people like family, friends donated, and I organized some charity events like classical concert and some, as I said, some exhibitions. But I've exhausted that somehow. So
I can imagine it's a pain in the ass if you please aren't X, Y, Z.
Can you donate again? That's a bit difficult. And in general, I'm also now questioning this whole donation model. So I'm continually talking to people in Tanzania as well, what they think, how people can contribute with their own money to a project like that. To what extent that's
But what about, there's also a lot of funds in international organizations or from the German Ministry of Development. There's a lot of, I think, potentially also money funds that we can access, right?
Yes,
did you have any
definitely, I've just recently done some research about that, and there's definitely lots of competitions and funds you can apply for. The only thing I've noticed that you have to be a registered organization, registered NGO. So I'm not.
Legal framework.
I haven't done that yet, so that makes lots of funding unavailable, and I get that. It's obvious that that's a requirement. That's just one thing to
consider maybe for outsiders to make that.
But I'm still working on that.
But that's already something we can work with. The goals, and in that sense, I think this is more of an idealistic, because 2 points of the concept are one is the objectives, the goals, the other one is the expected results. So I think one is more like an idealistic one, and the other one more realistic. What is for you right now the goal of your project? What do you want to do?
So for me, the goal through art education or artistic expression is to give children the chance to express themselves in a way that they usually can't do. So often emotions and feelings are difficult to express verbally, so sometimes the arts can help to express things. They can also give yourself self-confidence through, if you've achieved something, you've created something, you have the freedom to be yourself, let's say.
Show it others, they give you feedback.
And then the cultural exchange part as well, where I could imagine that we extend the cooperations with schools in Germany. We've done that once with one workshop where children from Tanzania and Germany painted on the same topic, and then you exhibit these works.
That's very, I think, especially culture-wise, we hope also maybe with the radio to have some music elements that maybe then we can raise awareness for, and I think that is something.
Yeah, and in general also for the, I mean, you said the decolonization part we're going to talk about, maybe not, you're going to talk about in another video, but I think that's also a part where people, through learning about their cultural history, their artists, they can reconnect to their culture and gain self-confidence in what their country has achieved and what people in their country are achieving.
Definitely. For others also, I mean, to see maybe there's a platform at least, you know, because I think in the status quo there's a lot of, I mean, there's some exhibitions maybe in like the big cities, but there are also a lot of like stolen objects and stuff like this is a big discussion, so maybe to have like
and a lot of hidden history kind of as well. So,
the history there. And the expected results, like if you look into 2018, New Year's resolutions, everybody has something. What do you hope to achieve maybe within this year?
So, I mean, I would say in general with art education, or education in general, it's a bit difficult to see like results.
It's not quantified.
And you maybe after 10 years or something, you see that a child has developed in a good way, and then you don't even know if it's exactly because of the art workshops. So that's a bit difficult. But we have, like last time when I was in Tanzania, we were talking about that if the project is going well, but that's a bit in the future. We could imagine making that school into an art center where children come from like different areas and exchange, like see exhibitions, curate their own exhibitions. So that would be a potential idea for the future.
So the last part maybe, organizational background, because I think the other parts of the concept like budget estimate, maybe this is also very different from your case than others, but I would be interested. What is your like frame with Jambo Sanaa? In which organization do they take place, and what is your goal maybe with the organization?
So as I said, we started as a project of Jambo Bukova, that established NGO, which helped us to raise money initially, because that was already had the legal framework. But now we decided to separate from them because they're doing sports education, we're doing art, so that's kind of different.
Now it's your own project. Kind of.
Yeah, it is, but not yet in the legal framework. So and we're mainly in Germany it's just me, and then in Tanzania it's mainly one art teacher who's called Abela. She's a teacher, not art teacher at the primary school, and then someone else called Steven, and he's helping me also with communication and so on. So that's how it is at the moment.
I'm looking forward to hear about the news from that, and recommend all of you guys follow her on Facebook, Jambo Sanaa. It's easy to find. We'll put it in the links. Thank you very much, and looking forward to see you again.
Thanks.
Ciao.